Little Company of Mary, the Sisters in America. Mary Potter was born on November 22, 1847, in Bermondsey, London, England. Her compassion for the sick and dying and her vision would change the lives of tens of thousands of people around the world. She had tremendous faith in God and an indomitable spirit. Mary's life was marked by frequent illnesses, giving her an insight into the loneliness and abandonment many of the sick and dying feel. While she convalesced, Mary became increasingly aware of the mission to which she was being called, to found a religious institute whose members would devote themselves to the spiritual welfare of the dying, a congregation that would mirror the group at Calvary. In 1877, the Little Company of Mary Sisters were formed in an abandoned stocking factory in the poor area of Hyson Green, Nottingham, England. Mary Potter's vision manifested itself in America in 1893, when three Little Company of Mary sisters, Mother Patrick, Sister Veronica, and Sister Philomena, came to Chicago from Rome at the request of Charles Mayer, a Chicago civic leader. His support came in gratitude for the care his ailing wife had received from the Little Company of Mary Sisters while she vacationed in Rome. He built a convent for them at 4130 South Indiana Avenue and even provided magnificent stained glass windows for their chapel. The early sisters traveled to the homes of the sick on Chicago's South Side, providing nursing care, spiritual support, and other assistance as needed. The sisters soon found that there were many more people than they were able to care for. They needed to build a hospital. But where? Their trust in divine providence and a certain sense of risk were tested when they acquired a tract of land in Evergreen Park, Illinois. The sisters realized their dream on January 19, 1930, when a 4-story, 150-bed hospital opened on that isolated property. Little Company of Mary Sisters, supported by 12 physicians, made up the entire staff when the hospital opened. Over the years, the sisters continued their mission of caring for the sick and dying by establishing world-class hospitals and healthcare centers, combining the finest in medical technology, physicians, staff, and spirituality. The flagship of their ministries in North America is Little Company of Mary Hospital and Healthcare Centers in Evergreen Park, Illinois, also the home of the American Province. Since opening in 1930, more than 200,000 babies have entered the world at Little Company of Mary, earning it the nickname, the Baby Hospital. True to the pioneering spirit of the sisters, in 1950, the hospital took its place in the history books when doctors Richard Lawler, James West, and Raymond Murphy performed the first human organ transplant in the world. In line with their mission of caring for the sick and dying, Little Company of Mary Hospital has the longest-running, highly regarded hospice program in the Chicagoland area. Today, the sisters operate 13 healthcare centers in the community, and Little Company of Mary continues to be a thriving, standalone Catholic hospital. In 1950, the sisters settled in Jasper, Indiana, and were instrumental in the opening of Memorial Hospital and Healthcare Center, dedicating the facility to those men and women of our country who have served our country in times of war, providing a living memorial in their honor. The sisters also ran a nursing home in St. Pierre, Indiana. This nursing home was considered the gold standard for nursing care, a reputation that remained with the facility until it closed. In 1960, the sisters were invited to Torrance, California, where they opened a third Little Company of Mary Hospital. Today, the sisters co-sponsor their California ministries with the Sisters of Providence, Providence Little Company of Mary Medical Center in Torrance was named one of the nation's top 100 hospitals by Reuters. In 1999, a little piece of the Sisters' roots came home. The original stained glass windows from the Sisters' first convent on 41st Street in Chicago were relocated to various areas of the hospital in Evergreen Park. The Sisters' roles have evolved since the early days, and their ministries extend beyond the walls of the hospitals they've built. In addition to nursing, administration, and social work, the diversity of the Little Company of Mary Ministries includes home health care, parish visitations, pastoral leadership, spiritual direction, retreat direction, and numerous community outreach programs. The Sisters place great importance on education, and many of the Sisters hold graduate and postgraduate degrees in the fields of pastoral studies, education, nursing, and business. This savvy group of women has created a healing environment that draws upon the experience and spiritual strength of their past, combined with the knowledge and advances of science and technology, while providing corporate leadership to all of their healthcare institutions and related ministries. In 1988, Pope John Paul II declared Mary Potter venerable, the first of 3 steps towards sainthood. Mary's loving spirit continues to guide the work of her spiritual heirs today, and their ministries are spread throughout the world. Today, the Little Company of Mary Sisters are present in 11 countries around the world, making visible the healing love of Jesus by prayer, presence, compassion, and care for those around them, particularly the sick and dying.